Welcome back to that handicapping show. I'm Claire Novak, joined by Tom LaMarra, coming to you from the frozen tundra of Kentucky, where Winter Storm Thor has wreaked its havoc. But the show must go on, and so we are here to talk about some races in sunny Southern California, where I heard it's going to be a very chilly 75 degrees over the weekend. We'll be here in the snow and ice watching. But of course, the big cap is the exciting race on tap, 1.25 miles for the older horses, and Shared Belief will definitely be the one to watch in here. Underneath that, it's kind of a little bit of a coin toss, and as I was going through these other contenders, Tom, I was like, Cool Samurai is still running? You know, there's a bunch of horses in here. You don't have California Chrome because he's going to Dubai. And you know who I really miss is Ron the Greek and Flat Out. Like those types of really hard knockers at 5 and 6, and they're not in here. We have just kind of a mishmash of horses, and you really believe Shared Belief should gallop in this.
I do. $1 million purse. So I am glad that it attracted 13 horses because at least that makes it interesting. I do question, you know, a lot of these horses when you get past Shared Belief. And it's not that they're bad horses. It's just that, you know, when you look at Shared Belief, he's only lost once. And quite frankly, we all know about the major excuse that he had in that. And, you know, it probably cost him at least one championship last year. And the way he's gone right now, you know, this may be the payback year. And, you know, he looks pretty strong, you know, no problem with the distance. He's tactical, he's training well. There's not a whole lot more that you can say about the horse except that he's expected to win, and I think he is a very legitimate favorite. So
Shared Belief, he has those 2 in a row since he was beaten in the Breeders' Cup Classic. He came back and won the Malibu, and then he defeated California Chrome in his last start. So he is a horse who definitely will be favored, and if he does not win for fun over this bunch, there might be something wrong. So let's talk about breaking the race down from a betting perspective, because underneath it is really interesting. You have a lot of different options, a lot of horses who have done pretty much a little bit of everything. We've got some horses who have never been over a mile. We've got horses who have been going 1.25 miles, longer distances on the turf. So who do you look at underneath here?
Well, one horse that I will absolutely use with Shared Belief is Catch a Flight.
Yeah, we both talked about it.
He drew the 12 hole here, but raced in Brazil, and he shipped over, and he started racing in this country in January. He has 2 starts at Santa Anita on the dirt, 1 mile, and then he won his second start, which was an entry-level allowance race at 1 1/8 mile. Both times for Gary Stevens, trained by Richard Mandella. And you may say, well, you know, he won a non-winners of one other than allowance race,
right?
Which also had an optional claiming condition. He was not in for the price. But you look at the rest of the field, and you know, I like the way that he's progressed. I think the 1.25 miles is good for him.
Yeah.
And, you know, I see him as having the biggest upset chance.
Yeah, he was running in Brazil at 1.5 miles on the turf, and you've got to love Richard Mandella getting a chance with these South American imports. He knows how to handle them, knows how to help them make the transition. And actually, looking at the race separately ahead of time, he was one that I also landed on as a horse who has a chance in here. I'm going to go back to my old dude Moreno in here because the horse has class, and for some reason, the Breeders' Cup Classic is just his. I don't know if it's the amount of people. I don't know if it's I think before the Breeders' Cup Classic, he just throws in the towel and is like, this is too hard. I'm not going to do it. But he is a talented horse. He's a horse who has raced well at the distance. He was second in the Suburban Handicap, which is 1.25 miles. And I think that while he may not be good enough to beat Shared Belief, I would anticipate him hitting the board. So he might factor into the pace scenario. That's typically his style. In the Breeders' Cup Classic, he got slammed at the start and never got a chance to get up near that pace. And then he was extremely rank, which may have contributed to why he ran so poorly in that race. This is his first start back of the season. So I think he could hit the board.
He's also pretty well positioned in this race. We all know he's quick from the gate. He drew the 6th hole, not an abundance of speed inside of him. I agree. I think that he could hang around for a long time if nobody runs with him, and he is the 3rd horse that I would use in the race.
All right, so Tom and I both on the same page as far as our Santa Anita Handicap picks concerned. And a big day at Santa Anita, you have the Kilroy Mile, which is a turf race. You have the San Carlos for sprinters, and Conquest Two-Step running in that race, who is second to Shared Belief in the Malibu. And then, of course, we have the San Felipe with horses looking to continue on the road to the Kentucky Derby, and Dortmund is the favorite in here. And neither one of us really can look past him as far as a winner, but a couple of other horses to look at underneath.
Yeah, I hate to throw more chalk out this race.
It's a very chalky addition, but it's very white
But until
here.
the horse
Lots
loses, I see no reason to pick against him, especially the fact that he's won by slim margins last time and really had to fight, and that's an extremely positive sign. You know what? I'm going to let you talk about this one because I really don't like anything else in this race. So go ahead.
Well,
I'm
just interested in Ocho making his debut this season, and I know they missed a couple of works with him due to some rain out at Santa Anita. This is the horse who won the Delta Jackpot. He's undefeated in 3 starts as a 3-year-old. I don't think he's going to win this race, but I do think that he should run 2nd or 3rd somewhere in there. And I know the connections are looking to use this as a stepping stone. The horse is definitely not 100% at the top of his game right now, but could use this race, might need a race going forward. So I'm interested in seeing how he progresses, and I liked his 2-year-old campaign. He's by Street Sense. So
one quick note for handicappers too. In the San Felipe, Dortmund is trained by Bob Baffert, who also has Lord Nelson in this race.
Correct.
And you know Lord Nelson will be a much bigger price than Dortmund.
The other
so if you want to spread out a little bit, we all know how these things turn out frequently. So don't leave the horse out.
All righty. Well, we wish you the best luck this weekend. We'll have a lot of action. The Gotham from New York, the Tampa Bay Derby. So we're going to keep you covered at bloodhorse.com. And we always want to thank Briss for the PPs. And thank you for watching That Handicapping Show.